So welcome back to the second video of this virtualization series. In this video we are going to learn to how to install Windows 10 on a virtual machine manager like this one on a Linux machine. So in this video I'm going to try to install it on a Linux machine. In the next video for the Windows users I'm going to tell them how to install a virtual machine on the Windows platform. So let's proceed. The first step you have to do is download the Windows 10 ISO by going to Windows 10 download. Click on the first link and this page will appear. Select the edition that you want to download. Well, there's only one option there, and then select the language that you want to have of your Windows virtual machine. By downloading this ISO, we skip the step of having the virtual machine manager download it, and we see two options here, 32-bit and 64-bit. So according to the appropriate architecture of your computer, mine is 64, so I'll download 64 and save it. As I have already downloaded it, I'll directly go into the virtual machine manager, and as for the link of how to download this virtual machine manager GUI, the graphical interface, I'll paste the link in the description. It's a very easy article to follow through, and then you'll have a manager like this where you'll start by clicking the create a new virtual machine button, and then as we have the ISO image already downloaded, we'll click on this one and it is already selected, and go forward, then select the ISO file. If you don't have any of these directories here listed, don't worry, just click on this plus button here and go to browse and go to the folder or directory where you have the ISO file downloaded and click on open, then finish, and it will list your directory here where you can select the ISO file and choose the volume. Then this menu already detects the operating system, but in my case it is not detecting the correct one, so I'll enter Windows 10 and select it and go forward. Now this step is important as it depends on how much RAM or CPU cores your computer has. If you have enough RAM, like I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, I can assign this virtual machine up to 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I have only 4 cores available, so I can give it only 2 cores maximum, so it can run smoothly. If you have more, you can assign more. Next we will go on to the default. As I have 140 gigabytes in the default location, I can give it some more, but it will function in 40 gigabytes, don't worry. Then name your operating system. I'll leave it as tutorial, Windows 10 tutorial, and then finish. This will take a couple of seconds, and we have the Windows operating system starting its initial process of registering us as a user, where we'll go into the default settings and click install now, and you can go to full screen by clicking here, or it will appear here somewhere. Mine is this button, and in this step you don't have to enter the product key as we are just only testing this virtual machine, so we don't have to put in our credentials here, and click I don't have a product key. Then choose the language or the edition you want to install. We'll just go with the default. Then accept the license terms from Microsoft for using the Windows platform. This step it is selected by default the upgrade option, but it is only for those who have already installed the Windows on the computer and want to update. So we'll go with the custom install option, where it will ask you this drive, and don't worry, it will not erase anything from your host or primary machine. This is just the amount of data we have given it from our main host OS. And this step takes a couple of minutes, so I'll see you after that. So mine one did the installing process and it rebooted. Now we'll see more prompts getting us to initialize the machine. This will take time. Yeah, Windows takes time to install, whether you installed 10 or 11. So mine just rebooted several times, and before it goes on and asks our Microsoft ID, I'm going to pause it here. Yes, you can pause your virtual machine and it just stops there. I'm going to shut it down, and it's not shutting now. Let's see when we can shut down. This is important because I'm going to tell you Microsoft requires its new users to sign into Microsoft ID for using Windows, but we are going to avoid that step as we are just using it for testing purposes, and we don't need our personal credentials to be logged into Microsoft account. So I was able to shut it down after that Cortana went away. So what I want you to do is go here into show virtual hardware details and go into the network interface card details and just turn it off and apply it. I need to minimize this. Yes, apply the settings, and the next time the device boots up it will have no internet, which means we don't have to log in our Microsoft ID in order to use this window on a virtual machine. So here we are again at the Cortana page. I advise you to do it earlier when you just install the ISO, and that way after installing all those features and updates, when it boots up it will boot up without the internet, and I'll let you know what happens when we boot without internet. You'll see on the next screen. So here we are at the region. I'll just go ahead and select it. Okay, next, and skip. Now it comes to the network stage where it will detect if we have internet connectivity on the computer or not, and hopefully it recognizes that it doesn't have internet. I'm saying hopefully because earlier when I did this it went on to ask my Microsoft ID. So I might have a problem here as it went on to the account part where it will ask me to sign in to the Microsoft ID. So I will try it again and shut it down, and then again mess up with the network card, so you don't have to repeat these steps as I did. So I'll go here and select virtio and apply. So now the operating system doesn't have any way to connect to the internet. It will boot again and I'll tell you what goes. So thankfully the trick did its work and it finally said that we don't have internet, and click this option here, I don't have internet, and it will proceed without asking for your Microsoft account, and click here to continue with limited setup, which means we are going to log in just as a user, local user, put in any name without any internet, and if you want to create a password you can, and just proceed ahead. Now it asks for our location and other diagnostics, so I'll just proceed without giving it any other thing than required. Click on no on everything. We don't want ads. No, I don't want Cortana. Now this is one of those stages where it tests your patience, so plug it in and just do other work while it take a couple of minutes. So this was really surprising as under 2 minutes it got booted. I think it was because I disabled the internet connectivity from the source, and you can see how much of a bloat Microsoft puts nowadays in their operating system. So this was the video about how to install Windows, and you can just now go on to a reboot, shutdown, and treat it as your world and do anything you like here. Test it out and just let me know in the comments what would you like. So let me know how was your experience installing Windows as a virtual machine, and I'll see you in the next video where I install Ubuntu, Linux, or other operating system on a Windows machine. See you.